Well, Donald Trump and Jeb Bush, not the only Republican candidates trading barbs on the issue of illegal immigration. Our first guest tonight says Trump's proposed border wall is nothing more than rhetoric. For more on how he would handle this country's illegal immigration crisis, how he would handle this economy, and other issues, I'm joined from Austin, Texas, by the former governor of that great state and Republican presidential candidate, Rick Perry. Governor, good to have you with us.
Thank you, Lou. It's good to be with you, sir.
As you know, Jeb Bush says, it's an act of love. Donald Trump wants to deport illegal immigrants. Where do you stand at this very moment on the issue of illegal immigration and border security?
Well, I think we need to flesh everyone out from the standpoint of just the rhetoric. When somebody says, let's build a wall, then I think it's appropriate to say, it's good to have this conversation. It's good that we are having a conversation that now for 30 years, this border has not been secured. We've known it's been a problem. I mean, it's became
Would you be surprised, Governor, if I
issue.
told you I didn't believe a single one of these candidates about anything that has been said so far on the issue of border security or illegal immigration? Because, as you said, we've heard it all before.
Good for you, because the fact is, until the media really digs in on this issue and said, explain to me exactly what you're talking about when it comes to securing the border, because everything goes back to that, whether it's this issue about the people who are on welfare, whether it's the cost to the states when it comes to the schools, when it's the, all of the cost of this border that's not secure has been mounting up and costing billions and billions of dollars. So the issue all goes back to securing the border. If you secure the border, this whole conversation about the 14th Amendment, those go away. We know how to secure the border, Lou. The issue is we have not had the will in the White House to do that. We haven't had the will in Congress. Washington is just completely corrupt when it comes to this issue.
Well, this issue and many others, let's be straightforward. There's a reason that the American public holds them in 6% approval esteem.
Is it that high?
I didn't say it was deserved. Governor, as we look at this issue, though, what would you do about it? What would be your first steps to first secure the border? Yeah. Because it does seem we've built a consensus here that we've got to secure the border. Again,
yes, sir.
Assuming that any of this rhetoric and pandering, let's be clear, amounts to a real policy and real action.
Well, let's talk about reality. It's 1,933 miles from Tijuana, right there by San Diego, all the way to El Paso, and then El Paso to Brownsville. So you must understand the size and the scope of this to really get your hands around it. Then you must believe that manpower and boots on the ground are the real key issue here. Whether you build a wall that's 20 foot high and 1,933 miles, and you ask the question, how long is that going to take to build and what's it going to cost? But there's a better way I will suggest to you, and it's having the personnel in the right places. It's the boots on the ground in the right places. It is the strategic fencing and the type of wall, if that's what you want to call it, in the metropolitans, and the aviation assets, Lou. If you don't have the aviation assets looking down 24/7, making the analysis of what's going on along that border, both sides, identifying where the problems are, and quick response teams that go there to interdict, that's when you secure the border.
At what point do you think any candidate is going to talk about treating Mexico like a mature, responsible, democratic, sovereign nation, and talk straightforwardly to their leadership and say, end illegal immigration, and you end it now?
Right, and I think that's one of the things that's been missing all along is the will at the White House, the will from Washington to clearly send the message. Now, keep in mind, Mexico's the #1 trading partner for a state like Texas. They are a major importance from a trade standpoint. But the other side of it is Mexico has their fair share of foreign aid that flows into that country as well. A real negotiator, a president that is committed to securing the border, will get Mexico's attention, and I will suggest to you that having 14 years of being a neighbor and a governor of the 12th largest economy in the world knows how to do that. We know how to get Mexico's attention, but most importantly, we're going to send the message that the border is going to be secure, boots on the ground, aviation assets, strategic fencing. The border is going to be secure, and Mexico will salute that, I will suggest to you. They're not going to have a choice.
Yeah, I would suggest that they'd make awful good partners in that effort. And if they wanted to be a principal trading partner of this country, that they would make every effort to be certain that they are a full partner.
Well, indeed they will. And I
will
will suggest to you that we can also be of assistance to them on the southern border with Mexico, because that's where a lot of these challenges come from. Last summer, it was Central American kids that were coming up here, showing up on our border. It wasn't Mexican citizens.
If you and I keep suggesting to one another these solutions, we'll get this thing solved here tonight, Governor. Let's turn to
it's really pretty simple.
Yeah, it truly is. And part of the simplicity is a business roundtable, a U.S. Chamber of Commerce spending $1.5 billion lobbying on this issue and turning most, if not, well, I better not say most, but at least half of Congress into somewhat weak-spined folks on the issue. Let's turn to the campaign. You've lost your staffer in New Hampshire. Says he's not working for you any longer. It's the same thing has happened in Iowa, where your co-chair has recently left. You've got a strong super PAC supporting you, but where does your campaign go here? How do you break out from the pack?
Lou, I tell people I've been broke before, whether it was as a dryland cotton farmer out in West Texas or, I've been broke as the governor of the state of Texas. In 2003, we had a $10 billion shortfall. I know how to deal with it. You cut back. You make the corrections that you need to make to get things back headed in the right direction. And that's what we're doing. I mean, it's no big secret that
how do you break out?
You got to make well, I think this is going to be about who's got the record. I mean, if Americans care about who has the best record, sitting on that stage of these 17 Republicans, who is it that's been at the core of issues that are truly conservative? And I might add, those conservative issues that we put in place, taxes, let you keep more of your money, a regulatory climate that's fair and predictable, a legal system that doesn't allow for oversuing, educational policies that free people to go and succeed in life. Nobody's done that like we've done it in the state of Texas. So if results really matter, I'm going to be breaking out, because the fact is nobody else on the stage has the record of which we have to offer the people of this country.
Governor Rick Perry, good to have you with us.
Thank you, Lou.